Good morning, children. Our today's topic is what is light reaction. So, before discussing this whole topic, I want to show you these notes which I have already supplemented along with the previous videos, in which we have discussed that photosynthesis is actually completed in two steps: light reaction and dark reaction. So in light reaction, which is a light dependent reaction, chlorophyll traps the solar energy is converted into chemical energy, and then there is a photolysis of water, breakdown of water in the presence of light, with the production of oxygen and hydrogen ions are also formed. So these are the three steps of light reactions are there. How these three steps get completed in light reaction, that we are to discuss here in this topic. So here they have written that in this actually there is the absorption of light, then the splitting of water is there, and then the formation of energy is there. These three steps I have shown you already in the notes, and energy is formed here in the form of ATP and NADPH2. So for this, all these three steps, for the completion of all these three steps, there is a need of light harvesting complexes, that is called as LHC. These light harvesting complexes are actually two: photosystem 1, pigment system 1 or photosystem 1, and photosystem 2, PS2. So here they have shown these are the light harvesting complexes. So light harvesting complexes means what? That along with the chlorophyll, there are various other pigments are also present in the leaf, and these pigments are called as antenna molecule. These pigment molecules are there. These antenna molecule actually receives the light energy. They also receives the light energy in the form of photons, as I have drawn here. This energy is been shown, and this energy is received in the form of photon, and ultimately all these antenna molecule now provides the energy absorbed by them to the reaction center, and this reaction center is actually a chlorophyll molecule only. Okay, so in the photosystem, the chlorophyll molecule is not the part, the antenna molecule are the part. These pigments, here they have written, each photosystem has all the pigments एक्सेप्ट वन मॉलिक्यूल ऑफ क्लोरोफिल ए, यानी क्लोरोफिल ए को छोड़कर बाकी सब पिगमेंट सिस्टम का पार्ट होते हैं, दैट मीन्स फोटो सिस्टम का पार्ट होते हैं. एंड दैट एनर्जी विच इज एब्जॉर्ब्ड बाय द पिगमेंट्स, which makes the photosynthesis more efficient by absorbing the different wavelengths of light, and then single chlorophyll A molecule is there which forms the reaction center. Now in the reaction center, two photosystem 1 and photosystem 2 is there. So in photosystem 1, the reaction center or chlorophyll A molecule which is there, which has its absorption peak at the wavelength 700 nm, and in pigment system 2, the absorption peak is achieved at the wavelength 680 nm. Okay, so pigment system 1 is comprising of P700, that means that pigment which absorbs the 700 wavelength and achieves its peak, and in pigment system 2, that pigment is present which absorbs the wavelength of 680 nm and then achieves its peak. So this is about the pigment system. There are two pigment system are there, that is photosystem 1 and photosystem 2, and in photosystem 1 the reaction center is P700, and in photosystem 2 the reaction center is P680 which absorbs the wavelength of 680. Now here they are showing the electron transport. Okay, but before discussing this electron transport, I am taking up this because this topic and this topic are concerned to each other, actually they come under the topic of this only, which is cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. It means what? That once the solar energy is absorbed by the pigments, then this solar energy is to be converted into the chemical energy. Okay, so for converting it into the chemical energy, there are two steps, two types of photophosphorylations are there. Phosphorylation means the formation of energy in the form of ATP in the presence of light, so that it is photophosphorylation. So these photophosphorylation is of two type, that is cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. First I am discussing you the cyclic photophosphorylation. So cyclic photophosphorylation is what? That here this is the pigment system 700. This is the pigment system 1 is involved in this, and once the light energy is absorbed by this pigment system, it get excited, and after its excitation the electrons are emitted, and these electrons are received by one electron acceptor, and after that these electrons pass through the chain of various electron acceptor, and ultimately it comes back to the pigment system P700. And meantime the ADP and inorganic phosphate joins to form ATP. That means this solar energy is converted into chemical energy, and here this is in the cyclic manner, because the electron which is emitted by pigment system 1 come back to pigment system 1 again. Okay, that means again it will become stable by getting the same electron back. Okay, and along with this the ATP chemical energy is also formed. Now this pigment system 1 is actually called as cyclic flow, and it is present in the stroma lamellae. It is present in the stroma lamellae. Now I am coming to the pigment system 2. Here it is given, this pigment system 2 operates in the Z scheme manner. Here actually both the pigment system are involved. First this is pigment system 2, that is P680. So this P680 pigment system 2 once receives the light, and then it get excited. This chlorophyll molecule when get excited, so it will start emitting its electron, and this electron will be received by the electron acceptor, this one, and this electron acceptor will pass on the electron to the chain of electron acceptor, and meantime again the from the ADP and inorganic phosphate the ATP will be formed. But this electron which is being emitted by this pigment system 680 or pigment system 2 will not come back to itself, rather it goes to pigment system 1, that is P700. That means in non-cyclic photophosphorylation both the pigment system are associated, P680 and P700. So P700 will also get excited, and it will again emit the electron, and that electron again moves downhill. This is called as downhill transport of the electron. So it is uphill and then downhill. Once it moves downhill, then this electron will be received by NADP and reduce it to NADPH2. These raw material NADP and ADP are coming from the dark reaction. So it will reduce to NADPH2. So that in non-cyclic photophosphorylation the energy is formed in the form of ATP and NADPH2. Now question arises that how this LHC will come back to its stable state, because the electron emitted by this has gone to the pigment system 1, that is P700. So here the another step is there, that is splitting of water. So water get splitted in the presence of light, and then it forms here only. It is associated with the pigment system 2, and this water once is splitted into hydrogen and oxygen, then simultaneously two protons and two electrons are formed. So these electrons will now go back to pigment system with the electron acceptor. They will be transmitted to P680 and then they will make it stable. I will explain this process of photolysis of water this way, that this H2O in the presence of light, if get splitted, then it forms the hydrogen and hydroxyl ions. So this hydrogen will be used to reduce the carbon dioxide to the carbohydrate in the dark reaction. But when these hydroxyl ions get stable, then it forms the, suppose 4H2 I am taking, so 4OH and 4OH ions will be formed. So these 4OH ions will form 2H2O plus O2. Okay, O2. So that way, and here these four are there, so these are the electrons. So along with this, the four electrons will also form. These electrons will go back to P680 and make it stable. This hydrogen will reduce the carbon dioxide to carbohydrate and oxygen will be released. And this is again taking place in the stroma lamella inner membrane. Okay, so this scheme is called as Z scheme. This is actually non-cyclic photophosphorylation. In the book it is written in the general form, but it is to be included in this topic only. Cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation. Here they have written that they have mentioned here that non-cyclic photophosphorylation is a Z scheme and which is already discussed. So that they have not discussed here. Otherwise it is to be start systematically as I have discussed you. So that we are to discuss that the photophosphorylation, this means conversion, light reaction is now completed. Photolysis of water is done. Cyclic and non-cyclic photophosphorylation say solar energy is converted into chemical energy this way and solar energy is trapped. So that way this process of complete light reaction is completed, but we are to focus it here also that in the grana lamellae both the pigment system are present, so that grana lamellae is associated with the non-cyclic photophosphorylation Z scheme and stroma lamellae is associated with the cyclic photophosphorylation. So that if the light wavelength beyond 680 is available, then only non-cyclic photophosphorylation is possible, and if it is 680 only, then cyclic is possible. Okay, so this is all about